Hey friends, just a quick video to talk through the concept of neuroceptive mismatch. Now, this is a concept that Dr. Stephen Porges, who came up with the polyvagal theory, has presented. And the idea is that when we have experienced chronic stress or a threat to the nervous system, we can lose flexibility in the nervous system, which is designed to go in and out of safety and danger. And we can get sort of stuck in defense state. And that can look like sort of three options. One is that we can be under defensive, which means that we are going to see danger and not really interpret it as danger. So we might have a lot of risk-taking behaviors. We might do things over and over that don't turn out well, like staying in uh, relationships or work situations or eating things that don't feel good to us over and over. It could look like, you know, continuing in any kind of activity or behavior that that is not supportive to you, but you just don't really recognize that you have any options otherwise. So we see a lot of folks in our culture being like really reinforced in this, staying in jobs that they hate, drinking coffee every morning, even though it gives them a stomach ache, drinking even though they get hungover, et cetera, et cetera. And then some people can be over defensive, which can show up as, hypervigilance, really quick startle reflex, having a very high histamine response of like, everything you're allergic to, um, feeling like nothing is tolerable. So that's over defensive. And then most of us have a mix of the two. So there might be certain things that we're over defensive about and certain things that we're under defensive about. And the nice thing is that they used to think that the nervous system and the brain were just sort of like set. There was nothing that could be done. But now we know that there is something called neuroplasticity, which means that our nervous system and our brain can increase in flexibility, can grow new neurons. There's lots of nice options. There is a beautiful book that is called Mindfulness for Borderline Personality Disorder, and it talks about some of this neuroplasticity. It talks about some of the effects of early trauma on the brain and nervous system and how mindfulness in particular, but generally supporting the nervous system can create more flexibility and grow new neural pathways. This book has in its title borderline personality disorder, but it is not just for people who have received that diagnosis. Really, it's a set of characteristics when you are someone who has received that diagnosis that are present in a lot of folks with early childhood trauma, in a lot of folks that are considered highly sensitive, high masking autism, so many different profiles that are very similar to the profile of BPD. And so this book is really lovely and applicable for most of us who find that our nervous system has that neuroceptive mismatch and gives a lot of hope for how working with the nervous system can really result in a lot of lovely possibilities. So that's a little overview of neuroceptive mismatch. If you want to learn more, there's lots of resources through, look up polyvagal theory. Deb Dana's book, Anchored. Stephen Porges has several books on polyvagal. So anyways, lots of love.